Before we start this video, I would like to give you a warning. Because we are going to dive into a fascinating character who's known for his complex and often morally questionable actions. So who's the character in question? Well, it's none other than Light Yagami from the anime Death Note. Yes, that's right. He's a complex character who uses his intelligence and cunning for something, well, not exactly noble. You see, while Light may have used his skills for rather questionable purposes in the anime, there's a lot we can learn from him about self-improvement and apply them in our real lives positively. And that is precisely what we'll look at in this video. So, without further ado, let's get started. Point number 1. Plan all the way to the end. Light Yagami is a character known for his meticulous planning and long-term strategy. Now his objectives in the anime are questionable, but there is a valuable lesson we can learn from his approach to planning strategically. In one of the episodes from the anime Death Note, we can see Light Yagami was in a difficult situation. His so-called girlfriend, Misa Amane, was captured by the brilliant detective L, and Ram, a Shinigami, told Light that if Misa wasn't released, he would be killed. Light needed a plan to clear both his and Misa's name as the first and second Kira. So here's what he did. Light already had a plan in mind. He would convince L to put him in prison and watch him 24/7. While in prison, he would give up the ownership of his Death Note and forget everything about it, including the Shinigamis Ryuk and Ram. In this way, he would truly believe himself to be innocent. When the new owner of Ram's Death Note began killing criminals again, Light hoped that his father and the Kira task force would put pressure on L to free him and Misa. Light, on the other hand, knew that L would likely keep an eye on them even after their memories were erased. In any case, once Light is truly convinced that he is innocent of any crimes, he will set about finding Kira himself. And it is possible that he and L will work together to achieve that goal. Fast forward to the later episodes, Light and L are in a helicopter at the scene of the arrest of Kiyosaki Higuchi, the current owner of the Death Note. While L is distracted, Light takes the Death Note from him, and when he touches it, all his memories come rushing back. With his back to L, he checks the Death Note for Kira's victims. Light then secretly removes a pin from his watch and makes a tiny cut on his finger. Then, with his own blood, he writes Kiyosaki Higuchi on the piece of Death Note paper. Higuchi, who was being held in custody, screams and collapses on the floor. Light discreetly grinds in triumph as every phase of his plan succeeds. He has recovered his memories, Higuchi is dead, and L is next. Light Yagami's story in Death Note really highlights the power of planning for the long term. Now, I may not be dwelling in Death Note or complex detective games, but I have applied the idea of long-term planning to a different aspect of my life, and that's fitness. I used to be a skinny guy like many people. I wanted to see quick results at the gym. However, I realized that instant gratification is not sustainable in the long run. So taking a page from Light's life book, I decided to plan for the long term. Just as Light meticulously planned his moves, I carefully planned my workouts and tracked my progress over months and even years. It wasn't always easy, and there were times when I was frustrated. But I stuck to the plan because I knew it was the only way to achieve long-lasting results. And you know what? Over time I saw significant improvement in my strength and physique. This experience taught me that whether it's getting in shape, advancing in your career, or achieving personal goals, the key is to plan for long term and be patient. So if you're looking to improve yourself, remember Light Yagami's strategic thinking and my fitness experience. Set long term goals, make a plan, and don't get discouraged by the short term setbacks. Accept the concept of delayed gratification, because in the end it often leads to a more important and lasting rewards. Point number 2. Conceal your intentions. From Light Yagami's perspective, the notion of concealing intentions can be seen positively in the sense of maintaining a strategic advantage. While Light takes this to an extreme in Death Note by concealing his intentions to eliminate criminals, we can apply a softer version of this concept to our own lives. Sometimes it's beneficial to keep our goals and plans private, at least in the initial stages. Even Dr. Andrew Huberman, a distinguished American neuroscientist, has shared some fascinating insights about this in one of his YouTube videos.
Your motivation toward pursuing a goal. and you want to increase the probability that you will achieve that goal, that you should engage in so-called accountability, meaning that you should tell people you are going to achieve that goal. However, the scientific data tell us that if we inform people around us that, for instance, we are going to write a book, or that we're going to start a podcast, or that we are going to run a marathon, or whatever it happens to be, more often than not, we get feedback that is generally positive in form. I think that's good and to be expected, frankly. And yet the data tell us that the positive feedback that we get from others when we announce that we're going after a goal activate certain reward systems and motivation systems within our brain that then quickly dissipate and then diminish the probability that we'll engage in the type of behaviors that actually lead us to achieve that goal.
In simple terms, prematurely setting our goals can sometimes trick our brains into thinking we have already achieved them. Now, take my YouTube channel for example. I am passionate about helping people with self-improvement and also hope to see my channel grow significantly. However, I have chosen not to share it with others at this time except from a very handful of friends of mine. Why? Because my primary goal right now is on creating high quality content and building a solid foundation for my channel. By keeping my intentions and goals concealed, I can work diligently without the pressure of external expectations. I believe that if I consistently produce valuable content, my channel will gradually gain recognition on its own. In summary, whether it's Light Yagami's strategic approach or Dr. Andrew Huberman's insights on goal sharing, the key takeaway here is that while sharing your goals and intentions with others can be a positive experience, there's also a value in maintaining a degree of secrecy, especially in the initial stages of your journey. This allows you to focus on your work, develop your skills, and achieve your goals without distractions or potential demotivation. Point number 3. Emotional control. Emotional control is a crucial self-improvement skill that Light Yagami demonstrates exceptionally well in the anime Death Note. It means being able to effectively manage your emotions, especially in high-pressure situations. When Light faces intense moments of stress, he remains calm and composed. Take for instance an important scene from episode 9 of the anime. In this particular moment, L, the brilliant detective, starts whispering to Light. Now, this is significant because up to this point, L and Light have been trying to outwit each other, with neither revealing their own true identities. But in this scene, L hints that he knows who Light's father is and that he is interested in joining the police force. Now, this revelation has taken Light completely by surprise. L takes a seat next to Light and informs him that he has information about the Kira case that he would like to share with him. Light is understandably confused and surprised, but here's where it really gets interesting. L suddenly and rather casually reveals that he is L himself. Light is speechless. Imagine the shock and internal turmoil he must be feeling at this moment. He understands that if he reacts too strongly or tries to harm L, it will raise questions about his true identity. But here's where Light's emotional control comes into play. Despite his inner panic and frustration, he manages to hide any signs of unease from L and replies that if L is telling the truth, he has nothing but respect for him. He understands that simply eliminating L will lead the investigation straight to him, so Light calms himself down. He realizes that L must have revealed his identity because the investigation has hit a dead end. It's now a cat and mouse game between Light and L. Light sees this as an opportunity to get closer to L and eventually discover his true name, which he believes will be the key to defeating L. So what's fascinating about Light's composure in that scene is how he adapts to a completely unexpected twist while facing one of his most formidable opponents. Instead, he keeps his emotions in check and starts thinking about his next steps. Now, in real life, emotional control is a skill that can be incredibly valuable. It's about managing your feelings and reactions, especially when things get tough or unexpected challenges come your way. Here's an example. Imagine you are at work and you receive some unexpected and not so great news. Maybe it's a setback in a project you have been working on for months. It's easy to feel frustrated or even angry, but here's where Light Yagami's lesson on emotional control comes in handy. Instead of allowing your emotions to take over and potentially making rash decisions or reacting negatively, you take a deep breath and remain calm. You analyze the situation calmly, just like Light did when he realized he couldn't harm L without raising suspicions. Start by asking questions like, What are my options here? What can I do to address this setback? Who can I talk to for advice or support? You are more likely to make rational decisions and stay focused on finding a solution if you maintain emotional control. In essence, what we learn from Light Yagami's example is that emotional control isn't about suppressing your emotions but about managing them effectively. It allows you to stay in control of your actions and decisions even when facing intense or unexpected situations. Number 4. Adaptability and quick thinking. In the world of Death Note, Light Yagami displays remarkable adaptability and quick thinking. These traits are on full display in one particular scene where he finds himself being followed by a secret FBI agent. Light is aware that someone is following him and he needs to uncover the identity of this secret FBI agent without arousing suspicions. So, what does he do? Well, Light comes up with a plan. He arranges a date with a classmate named Yuri to a place called Space World. Light's tracker follows them as they board the bus to Space World, sitting just behind them. Now here's where his adaptability shines. During the bus ride, a dangerous man named Kichiro Osoreda, known for his criminal activities, hijacks the bus and threatens everyone with a gun. Light quickly seizes the opportunity. He hands a note to Yuri, making it seem like he is about to use a move his father taught him to disarm the hijacker. The man behind him, that is the FBI agent, notices and tries to talk Light out of it. But Light's quick thinking comes into play. He accuses the man of being involved with the hijacker, forcing him to prove his innocence by showing his FBI ID as Ray Penber. This not only shifts suspicion away from Light but also reveals the identity of the FBI agent. But the story does not end here. Light's resourcefulness also comes into play. He drops a note in the aisle with the plans for his death. What makes this note special is that it's written on a page from the Death Note. When the hijacker touches it, he sees Ryuk, the Shinigami. This unexpected turn of events completely confuses the hijacker, leading to chaos on the bus. In a panic, the hijacker tries to shoot Ryuk, wasting his bullets. He eventually orders the bus to stop and attempts to run away, but he meets an unfortunate end. After that, Light picks up his date and continues to plot the assassination of the FBI agent who was pursuing him. You see, in our everyday lives, we may not encounter situations as extreme as those in the Death Note, but the traits of adaptability and quick thinking that Light exhibits can be incredibly valuable. Life is often full of surprises and unexpected challenges. Sometimes things don't go as planned, and that's where adaptability comes into play. Just like Light adapts to the unexpected presence of the hijacker on the bus, we too can learn to adjust our plans and responses when life throws us a curveball. On top of that, quick thinking is a skill that can make a big difference. It means being able to think on your feet, make decisions under pressure, and come up with solutions in the heat of the moment. Remember, you don't need a Death Note or a detective on your tail to benefit from these characteristics. In our everyday lives, they can help us in a variety of ways, from dealing with changes at work to handling personal challenges gracefully. As we wrap this video, I want to emphasize that the lessons we have drawn from Light Yagami's character in Death Note are not about endorsing his actions or the path he chose. Instead, it's about recognizing the qualities he exhibited and how we can use them positively in our own lives. Adaptability, quick thinking, and even the art of concealing our intentions are valuable traits that can help us navigate the challenges and opportunities life throws our way. Remember that the world of fiction often presents us with intriguing characters and situations that can spark reflections on our own lives. So let's continue to learn, adapt, and grow, always with a focus on becoming the best version of ourselves. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.